Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday today. That's what day it is. Let's get after it. Let's make some money today. Or if we're not, if you're still in sim mode, let's learn some stuff today. Let's learn the skills to make some money today. Please say, if you're out there, if you're hanging out, say what's up in the chat. Let's get this thing started. Let's be interactive today. Makes it more fun for everyone. Well, definite range overnight here. Hey, Jocko. Morning, Hunter. A little bit of news here this morning. Morning, Zippins. What was it? Like CPI and stuff. And retail sales. Obviously didn't impact the market too much. Got a couple volatile candles and that's about it. Morning, Trip. So yeah, other than that, definite range, as you can see. I'm not sure whether or not the buy is going to set up right here. Certainly looks like we have our two legs down this channel and then a break and a new low. So we could certainly see some sort of buying opportunity if prices get down here, maybe give a nice bullish bar. I think I'll wait for a higher low, but if that happens down here, nice bullish bar, higher low, I think that'd be a decent buy. I'm gonna reload my data too, before I forget. Hey, good morning, Grandpa Roger. All right. I'm gonna get my SPY daily chart up as well and confirm that we are probably just right the same level we've always been. Doesn't look like we've moved anywhere. Absolutely crazy. Yep, yet again. Still in the same chop zone. This whole month though, we've been making lower highs, kind of forming like a wedge on the daily chart. Yeah, pretty much been making lower highs and higher lows, so kind of wedging on the daily chart. We'll see if that actually plays out and we have some sort of break. But again, I said this yesterday, we should just go into each day pretty much thinking this is going to be a range day. There is not much movement that is going to happen. And if you start with that assumption, I think it'll save you from a lot of bad trades, first of all. And then second of all, if you do get some sort of movement, you'll be pleasantly surprised rather than disappointed if it doesn't happen. Hey, good morning, Gary. Bobby, good to see you. So still not really an opportunity to buy down here yet. They kind of have some sort of resistance here. And we're also not touching the bottom of the range yet. So I do want to see us test this level, maybe even do a false breakout. I could get down with that. Right now we're just kind of drifting lower. You don't want to try to guess when that's going to be done. Yeah, I mean, you always want to respect these temporary trends, even if we are in a range, because this could still hold. We could just keep bouncing off of this, continuing to drift lower. So if you see like a bullish, if you know, you see this bullish bar and you're like, okay, we're at the bottom, we're gonna bounce now, then you're disappointed. Same thing here. Oh, bullish bar, and then you're disappointed. So you really want to see, you know, ideally a little break of this and then a move lower. Then you can feel confident about buying because that will have been played out. Again, it really looks like the second leg of this. But since it's been so consistent, you got to respect that. And yeah, Brant, definitely looking like a fun, exciting day is going to be shaping up. We had approximately 13 bars form overnight in a nice range, so that's always a good sign. I'm sure there is a some sort of indicator you could use for this, but I'm gonna mark my low from yesterday, high from yesterday. Maybe even the day before, just in case we get there. Oops. If anyone has a nice indicator that they use for this that does this automatically, that'd be cool. Maybe you can share that in the chat. So until you see any of these levels broken, this is just an inside day. Can't trust really any larger trends. Follow the shortened channels, play the range. Speaking of which, we do have our little break right here. Even though, again, this is the second leg still, this is a pretty stubborn trend here, but we got a break of it. Now if we move down to the bottom and have a bullish bar that forms, you can feel a lot more confident in taking that long. But it is, wow, we're crawling along at breakneck speed right here. Big bars though. ATR is pretty high. Oh, this is higher volume than yesterday. Okay, well shoot, we'll take that. Not gonna argue that. Dang. Anything, any sort of positive signs that this isn't just gonna be a nails on a chalkboard kind of day. Good with me. Yeah, last year was also pretty volatile, pretty voluminous. So I don't know if that we can count on that kind of volume every day for the rest of time. Last year was pretty unique. I was going through some charts of last June and it was wild, man. The days, yeah, I mean, good night. It took forever to get through a chart because of how many bars were formed. And there was just a lot of huge bars. Like, there was setups that, and I had forgotten about this. You know, while you're in it, you just kind of get used to it. But looking back over, I was like, oh my gosh, like every trade was a 4-point risk. Had to size up pretty significantly with the targets to make up for it. All right, so we are reaching the bottom of the range here. This might present a buy opportunity. We're not quite at the bottom, so I can't really buy anything just yet. Even if this bar ends nice and bullish, gotta test the low here, at least the body of the candle low, which is the bottom of the range, but maybe even farther down. You get a bull bar right here, that can be a fake out. You can get one tick above and then it go below again. Yeah, that's a good question, Zippins. With ranges, it's not an exact science with ranges. I think you want to look for ways where you can get the most touches. And usually that's the body, I would say. If you just do it on the candle up here, now that's the only touch. And if you just do the wick down here, now that's the only touch. So I think a range, the whole idea of a range is that prices keep going back and forth between two levels. So you want a little bit more confirmation. Now you have two touches right here. Now you have 1, 2, 3, almost 4 touches. So yeah, I mean, it really, like, a range is more of an area than it is an exact line, right? So we know in this area is where we're going to be looking to buy. And we're there for sure, but I do want to see us get down to where we've already touched. Those were equal lows right there. Same if we get up here, right in here, anywhere in here is the area of the top of the range. So yeah, I don't think your lines on a range have to be super exact, but I will say that if you play it really tight, let's say you moved this down here, maybe we're like, oh, look, it's kind of making equal lows. Let's tighten this up like this. That looks really good visually, but that can lead to some fake outs if you try to take a trade right here. Like if I see, oh man, we're pretty much at the bottom, we're starting to form a base, and this is a bullish bar, prices can always go to like where the actual low is. So I think err on the side of caution when you're making trades if your range is really tight. So you get better signals if you're not as tight on the ranges, if that makes sense. I had a trade like that actually a couple weeks ago live, where I took a long at the bottom of the range, and I just had drawn it too tight. I'd drawn it up like this or something, and then I had not realized that there was still a low that prices needed to get down to, so I took a trade up in here somewhere, and it lost. So that was the reason. I'd drawn my range too tight. And then the next one, you know, when it did move down here, it worked, and there was a nice bull bar, and it was a great failed breakout. But yeah, so that's the one thing I would say, where you do have to be a little bit more exact, I guess. Good morning, Black Knees. Well, 3 minutes to open. I don't think we're going to get the trade we're looking for here. I don't really want, you know, even if we have a nice bull bar, I'd be hesitant on buying right at the open. We've talked about this before. I'm not opposed to taking a trade right on the open, but it's got to be a really good trade. And this to me would not be like, oh yeah, I got to do this trade for sure. More like, oh yeah, okay, we're at the bottom of the range. I think you can take a risk on this. So that kind of level of trade I don't want to take right at the open. There's a beautiful second entry long right at a high probability area. Okay, I'll take that. Do you have, looking at some other possible news pieces today, nothing major, but there's quite a lot of Fed speak today for whatever reason. So you never know, in the news driven market that we have, that could be market moving. So if you see like a random candle out of the blue today, that could be it. That's a nice looking bull bar right there. Got about 10 seconds till the open. Yeah, nothing tradable there. I don't think you want to buy those equal lows. Stacked exactly, Greg. Good morning, by the way. Look at that. I mean, this is a little range in and of itself right here. I don't think Thursday's closed in the US. Not that I know of. You got another equal low right here at the bottom. Man, if it breaks down below that level, you're going to see a pretty large candle formed here. Pete, all the drawing tools I have, let's see, throw the link in the chat. Control F2. What is that? Oh yeah. I mean, that is an arrow. I do use that. And that works completely fine. But the special little, you know, this thing I got, it does the measured moves like that. That is from this website here. It's a paid tool. So you know, you can fork up the money if you want, but like Brant said, you just draw an arrow. That works just fine. Just copy paste it. It's the same deal. Just not as fancy. Yeah, I mean pretty much the only tool that I use from that site is the measured move. That's about the only one I'll use. I don't really use any of the other ones. I got it thinking I would use use this stuff a lot more. That's about it. Oh, and the other function it has is the range. I do use that. All right, little move up. You trusted this bottom here. You could have taken that higher low, but I think that's a bit risky. In this mini range, in the larger range, still hadn't touched the bottom. Don't really have much room before the top here. I guess you might be able to scalp out. Depends on how many points you're doing. Do I predict the market will close up or down? Yes. Yes, I do. I predict the market will close as well. Here's what I think about the market. Let me show you. And I don't think there's a trade right now, so I'm going to... If there's a trade, somebody yell at me, all right? Maybe a breakout pullback here. You know, I'll show you in a minute, but there I do have a thought about the close. I'm sure you were kind of kidding around, but I think it's important to note. We've moved pretty low for this to be a breakout pullback at this point. Nice. I like how we held the top of this range. We can get a little second entry. I might consider that. Okay, there's the first entry. We'll see if we can get a second entry like right here on the top of this range. That would be pretty cool. Got a feeling it's just gonna have the first entry to a new high here, but we'll see. Yeah, technically that is a failed second entry short, Jocko, now that you say. And not a higher low yet. You just had, this is the first entry short, second entry short failure. Okay, here's a chance. We'll really, this needs to be a really good bar for me to consider it. I want to see it wick down a little bit, draw in some bears, and then finish nice and bullish above the EMA. EMA is sideways here, so do you think you got to be a little bit cautious? Okay, this is looking pretty good. It might be worth a risk here. Don't want it to move up too high though. Starting to get there. Yeah, can't take that. That's for sure. See if we get one more bar here. I do have my order ready just in case it finishes bullish and looks really good. But it's going to take a really nice looking bar. We are starting to dip back into the range. We're below the EMA, so it doesn't look great. All right, well, that removed all doubt there. And that's why you wait for the second entry. I'm sure there was quite a few people who jumped in right around here. They saw the pullback to the top of the range. They're like, okay, cool, let's go. Got long here, and now they're suffering. So that's why second entries are so powerful. It really confirms one way or another if there's a good setup or not. If this would have pulled back right here and gave a nice bullish bar, I think prices would have gone higher. It does look like we were wanting to come and test the low of the larger range here. And at this point, I think we will. It would be shocking, honestly, if we stopped right here at that same level when you just have like a point left to the low. I talked about this yesterday, but when you get key levels like that and you're close to them, prices will usually always test them. It's very rare that they don't. We could bounce here though. I mean, anything's possible. Wow, look at that. Never went and tested the low, just bounced right off of this support right here. Crazy. I guess that's support exactly, Jocko. That's how you find out. And Greg, yep, that technically was our second entry long. Pullback, first entry, huge pullback, second entry. I guess you could have played that, but I do not think that'd be wise. When you get a pullback that is the entirety of the move, it's not really a pullback anymore. But I bet you this is already a measured move right there, so I would imagine we'll probably go down at this point. They did. They fooled everyone. But the thing is, you want to be in a position where they're fooling you doesn't lose you money. So I haven't taken a trade yet, so was I fooled? Yes, in some sense. I thought it was going to go lower, but I didn't take a position based on it. It was not high probability, so remember that the market's going to do some crazy things. You can always control when you participate or not. And so on one hand, you can be surprised by price action, but on the other hand, you're not surprised because you recognize that, like, this isn't a place where I ought to take a trade. Things are being a little too erratic. We're not at a key level. So I did not see this move coming, but I didn't get short here. I think a lot of people got short here, which is why you see this. All right. Well, let's see if I can pull up that daily chart. Or I'll just move the 10K. So I'm going to switch over to the daily chart. Someone asked yesterday, or someone asked today, what they think. What do I think about the close today? Well, take a look at this. Oh, holy cow, I got a lot of drawings on there. This is the daily chart. I mean, look, if we were playing this as an intraday chart, we would just say, hey, look, we're in a range, right? There's even ranges inside of ranges. Most recently, this area, we would say, hey, we're in a tight, compressed range. So if you need perspective, I think coming out to the daily chart is always a pretty good idea. Look at that. I mean, that's just terrible. So what do I think about where we're going to close? Somewhere in here. And you're not going to see a big move, I don't think. And even right now, we're inside of yesterday, inside the day before, inside Thursday, inside Wednesday. This is pretty much just a little wedge formation here. So just terrible. Just absolutely terrible price action on the daily chart. But I do think if we are going to just look at this there's a lot of space down here that I think we need to come test. We've been pretty faithfully going back and forth, up, down like this. We're consolidating again. Maybe we'll get a little spike out and then a failed breakout. But I think we need to come back in this area. Just based on price action, not based on fundamentals or anything like that. Anyway, here's the 10K chart for today. Pretty much tells the same story. This is a tiny range within that larger range we just looked at on the daily. So that's what I mean when I say don't expect like big moves. Obviously you can get like a big intraday move, but don't expect like a massive trend day that breaks through some of those levels. Like you should just assume chop. Every day you should come in and assume chop till the daily chart is broken out of that range and we've confirmed that we're actually going somewhere. Well, normally you would see this move up and think long, but with this range, I mean, we really could just drop straight back down to the support. Which, by the way, I think I'm going to move up a little bit. We have shown that this level is significant. Prices turned on a dime right there, so anytime that happens, you know that that area is pretty significant. We had several touches right here, so I think you can feel pretty good about that. Here's our first entry long. So far, guys, a pretty good day to conserve your capital. This is not one of those markets where you just want to make sure you get in something because you're going to miss out otherwise. We're just chopping. Quick bar. Remember how I mentioned about Fed speak? I almost could pet you. Dude, where is that? Trying to find my calendar. I bet you this is Fed speak. Yep. There's some bar speaking right now. ECB president speaks. That's more European news, but you know, obviously everything's correlated. Probably bar saying something. Okay, so now here's where we start looking at yesterday's low day. Again, this is still an inside day, so just because you see a couple red candles, don't get all excited thinking we're gonna be trending. Range structure is still the dominant structure here. That looks way too wide. I don't really know how to draw this, to be honest. That feels too narrow, but otherwise it feels too wide, so I'm not really sure. If you're feeling crazy You could have played this. Don't do that. Don't do that. We might have a little breakout, pullback, continuation. It does look like 2 legs down, but this is such a fast, strong move that this really could be just one channel here. Like I said, it's kind of difficult to draw it, so, and it doesn't look perfect. But I think you have to at least allow for this possibility. So we'll see if this just completely starts to launch up and puts in a higher low here and continues upwards. We can delete this channel. But look at that. We just shot down. So I think now we can start exploring the idea of a second entry short here. Especially if it ends right around here with the bearish bar. Feels like we're just going to shoot down with no setup. Here we go. This might be our shot. We have our first entry short coming up, maybe on a second entry short here. Need prices to come higher a little bit, give us a chance. And like I said, I think we're just going to drop off into oblivion without an opportunity. Come on, baby. Come back up. Still have not made a new low, so there is still an opportunity here, but we really do need to make some progress upwards, like so. Now I'm going to want to see the second entry short happen right at this area. If it's below that, I'm not going to be able to take it. Okay, here's our chance. This bar's got to move up, tick higher, right around here, and then turn down. And now it's kind of moving too low. We're starting to get what looks like a little mini range. So our opportunity is dwindling at this point. Yeah, Jocko, I think that's fair. Good reminder that we are in a range. That is the overall structure for the day. But when you're holding below the range level, it doesn't really look too much like a failed breakout anymore. This is our chance to really have some progress and make a failed breakout, but you gotta also note how strong this move down was. Just sliced through the range as if it didn't exist. Can't get back in there. So I think you gotta start switching your bias just a little bit. But this is starting to get a little congested down here, so even if the second entry short forms at this point, I don't think I'm going to take it. Really wanted it to happen. right here, pull back, first entry, pull back right away, and then a second entry. That would have been bread and butter, A+ setup, but we had a pullback first entry, and now we're just chopping. So our probability of success goes dramatically down at this point. Yeah, I mean, if it breaks above this level, it certainly could shoot up. There's going to be a lot of stop orders in place. Oh yeah, I guess I got the times wrong, Zippins, earlier when that move came. Yeah, you're right. The news is actually now in 2 minutes. But like I said, it's just European news for the most part, and then a little bit of Fed speak, which can definitely move the market again with how news sensitive it is, but I wouldn't put too much weight on it. So this might be our second entry short here. But again, not going to take it in all this congestion. Feels like any move down at this point might be a trap. Which way is tempting, Zippins? That part's hard to tell. Is the buy tempting or is the sell tempting? I think they both could be argued for here. It's kind of the problem. You have a strong move down, right? This downtrend has a break. We would expect a new low. However, as Jocko reminded us, we are in a range structure that is the dominant pattern. So because of that, you would expect to see a bounce here. And the fact that we haven't really made a new low right away, we've just been chopping around, might indicate that a base is forming and we could bounce. So you have two kind of conflicting patterns. And when that happens, the best thing to do is nothing. Wait till something happens that offers a higher probability of success. This ain't it. I'm here to tell you. So there's the second entry short. The problem is if it shoots down and you were expecting that to happen, you go, oh man, I knew it, I should have done it. Or vice versa. If it shoots up, you're like, oh man, I knew that was gonna happen. So just stay out of that stuff. Both will look really good in hindsight. Definitely have a little range here though. there's the failed second entry short. So I guarantee you there's people that entered on both sides of the coin here, on the second entry short and on this failure. And they are kind of both at the mercy of the market right now. I would almost suspect both of them to get stopped out, to be honest. Yep, it's coin flip, so if you like coin flips, get after it. With this action here, I am leaning more bullish than bearish, to be honest. Again, dominant structure is the range. We're at the bottom of the range. Most breakouts of a trading range will fail, so that is overall what would make the most sense to happen. And then you get this range at the bottom that shows a lack of rather conviction to the downside. So when you get that, unless your selling's heavy, you're gonna drift back up into here. So that's what I'm favoring, but nothing really set up too well to trade that. I don't think you want to take this failed second entry short going right into the low there. Not really much room to get out. This bar itself should have came down, you know, if the body of the bar was here and the tail had made a new low, I think that would be a different story. I could feel a little bit better about taking that, but this just didn't set up right for anything. I think if we come down to the low of the range again, I might consider buying if it sets up nice. Price is still below EMA, that is true. Black knees matters less in a range though. The EMA is most useful when there's, you know, some mixed action or a trend. But if you're in a range, the EMA is just gonna kind of drift around. Not as important. You're just looking for opportunities to buy the extremes of the range, so wherever the EMA is, doesn't matter as much. All right, we are back into the range. If anyone... Oh, nice, Jocko. You got that low there, huh? This would be a good one to have a runner on. You can get a buy at the low of the range or a sell at the high of the range. It's a good chance to take a runner and ride it all the way to the other side. If you decided to take a risk on this one here, you could have a runner that goes all the way to the top. Congrats to all you who took that one. I can't justify it personally just because of the, again, the lack of room to get out. The fact that this downtrend did not have a new low. I would have liked to see this make a new low first and then end bullish. Glad it worked out for you guys though. This looks like an overshoot and acting like it. Actually, Jocko, I don't even think it's a visual failed second entry short. That just is the failed second entry short. Pullback, first entry, pullback, second entry, failure. Okay, maybe it's coming down for that new low now. Again, this is a pretty strong move down, so, and we had a break. It would not be surprising if we made a new low here. Here we go, baby. Come down and make a new low. Now fading this is going to be pretty risky at this point. You have a very steep channel here, very strong. We're still in it, so don't get cute trying to fade this right now. Yeah, maybe we'll get a measured move of this thing. That's where I'd expect prices to reach at this point. Yep, right on, Gary. Same wavelength. You don't really even have to draw this channel because this is just the second leg really of this. But here we go down to that measured move. Totally, Jocko. We could just keep going here. Start looking for some sort of wider channel. That's way too wide. Don't even think about that. That's bad. That's terrible. It'd likely be more like this. So this channel, I hope y'all realize, is just in case, not confirmed in the least, but you want to be playing around with channel ideas before things set up. So then once they do, if they respect this, then you are ready to go. This is our first entry short. I do not think I'm going to be taking a second entry short here, as this is technically the new low of that downtrend. We could get a bounce. All this is just in case of bearishness. I mean, unless the EMA can come down and join this party, might consider that. We're a long ways away from the EMA here, though. And we already have our first entry to the short side. But we would have to come way up here for that second entry. I don't see that happening, especially since we just made a new low. On the 10K, similar, I would probably try to spot the same channel. You can get a really wide flat one like this, but you got to be careful of those. This is an overall range structure with a possibility of a downtrend forming out of it. Just waiting for that one good trade, guys. Yesterday was a good example of that. It was really dull action, then all of a sudden the stars aligned and everything came together for a really nice trade. So that's the daily routine. Be patient until something sets up with a high probability of success. So far, even in hindsight, I don't see anything that I really would have liked to take. I think this was the best setup today right here, and it was an aggressive one for sure. And also, we're pretty much just one trade away from passing another evaluation live on stream. We got to be picky as well. For those of you who are doing them, I hope your evaluations are going well. Or for you, I know, who was it that just got a funded account a while ago? Can't remember, but I hope you're doing well with that as well. Key to those is to take it slow, man. Guard that trailing drawdown until you are above it. Trade super conservatively until you're above it, and then my opinion is continue to do so, but definitely while you still have that trailing drawdown, you need to be a surgeon with your trades and just pick the best ones. Zippin's nice. Yeah, you know, Black and Eads, there wasn't, looking over the entire chart yesterday, I didn't find too many setups. Pretty much just the one I took in stream. There may have been like one other possibility, but I think that was really the one trade that made the most sense. And it was a good one. Didn't have a big runner though. It looked like it was going to take off and run, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Even Gary hasn't made a trade yet today, so that should tell you something. Self-funded, nice. I do both. I have my own account and I trade that, but I also have, I figure why not? If you have the opportunity to get a bunch of funded accounts, why not take advantage of that opportunity? Yeah, that would definitely be a max setup there if that closed above the EMA. He loves those higher lows after a breaking new low. We never touched the bottom here. That's not looking great for our potential wider downtrend, but let's see how prices react up here. If we get anything. I'm getting ready to delete this thing. But we'll see. Maybe prices will react strongly off of it. We are still in this temporary, or rather this short-term channel. You gotta respect that as well. Even if you're thinking short, we're still here. That could hold prices for a long time. Just getting a break of it now. That is a good sign for our larger channel. We get a break here, then we could move to a new high. That could be played out, and then we could turn down. No, nope, no close outside there. We're still on the channel. worthy to note too that we were right on testing the previous low of this little range. Okay, and there's our break of the channel. Right here, so if we can get a little bit of a move to a new high, and then start to turn down, I'll look for a short. And this is actually our second entry short right here. From the low, pull back first entry, pull back second entry. Obviously can't take that here, but I might take a lower high, confirming that second entry short. Well, in order to get that trade, you would have had to take this second entry short right at the break of a channel above the EMA. Super, super sketchy. This would be a lower high, confirming that second entry short. It's pretty dang low though. I don't think you want to take that. And we did technically have, from this channel here, this technically was our close outside and new high right here. So we're not necessarily expecting a new extreme of this up move, and we could continue lower. This would be our first entry long. We push higher, we might be reaching for a measured move. We'll be right around the top of this previous range support here. Again, I'm not too sold on this bigger channel. Hasn't really respected it too much. We never touched on the low here. This was 2 measured legs down, so that could be our down move. 2 measured legs, and now we're doing 2 measured legs up. And then we'll see. I'm gonna delete it for now. I got it copied though. in case we start turning down. We know it's there. We know that we have the possibility of turning down into a larger bearish channel. But we'll see how prices confirm that or not. Just looking back over the chart to see if there's anything I miss, and there really just is not. Oh yeah, Zippins, nice call out. Let's see if how that looks here. Might be a bit wide, but we'll see. I'm gonna keep the oh shoot, I copied this. Now my larger bear channel is gone forever. Recreate it. Trust the range. That's right, Jocko. Trust the range. Popping over to the 10K. That channel honestly looks pretty decent on the 10K. But you could also do the shorter term, break a new low like that. Yeah, I really don't like range as much anymore. I used to, but after a couple good trend days, like, oh yeah, I forgot about these things. They're so beautiful and easy. Trading a range just feels like a battle. You just get punched in the face. You're kind of scrapping for any little thing you can get. Went past our measured move there. Or that, Gary. Or that. Some sort of violent activity. You did have this channel drawn. That looks like an overshoot. Yeah, I mean, this is just ugly. There's nothing good about this price action. We'll see if it makes sense to extend our range down. Not really. We would want the midline to be right here, but if you're doing that, then the low is way too low. I don't like having this much action outside of the range. Feels like we should lower this, but it just doesn't look super good. I'm gonna leave it like that because That's pretty much what prices are dictating to us, that hey, this is the new support, the new low. But I'll put another line where the previous low of our range was, just to remember that. Two key entry points. Yeah, I guess this channel line and the EMA. This looks like an overshoot to me. I just don't see us continuing. I think you got to be cautious of this. Maybe if it sets up really good, I might consider it. We're at our first entry right now. We do have a break in a new low of this correction, so that's good. A couple good things about this so far. It looks like our second entry is going to happen on an inside bar here. Yeah, this is looking like garbage. Nice, Brant. I like that one. More confusing than your teenage years. This would be our second entry long. It's like a nice bull bar, but it's just below the EMA. I don't think you can risk this now. Yeah, I think I could consider a higher low here, Brant. But with this overshoot, we might have 2 legs of correction coming up. Might be in for this. But yeah, if it pushes above the EMA and we get a nice looking higher low, I think you can consider that. That would also be a failed second entry short here on the 10K. First entry short, second entry short failure. Back into the range. We do have some bearish bias for sure. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Basically, there's just not anything that is super clear right now. Price action agreed, Gary, is pretty horrible. There's going to be days like this, so just got to take what the market gives you. That's the key, man. Don't force your will on it. Some days it's just going to be better not to take a trade. All right, so now that we're breaking lower, look for us to reach this measured move here. And then maybe we can bounce. Wow, the 5-minute chart even almost looks uglier than this. Really just absolutely no clear direction. Ugly, ugly, ugly. That's a good note there, Brant, sorry. The top here, oops. You're counting from this swing low here. You have a first entry short, pullback, second entry short, and then that fails. And you get this beautiful bearish bar. That's the double trap that Brant's talking about. It's pretty decent. I mean, the thing is though, it looks pretty good in hindsight, but that could have easily continued higher and we had, you know, just a runaway steep channel. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good aggressive setup for sure, which is kind of the only thing that there has been today is aggressive setup. So sometimes you gotta be aggressive, I guess. And that's the style some people take. I would rather wait around. If it's gonna be crappy like this, wait till tomorrow. Bank on the sure bets. We might get a filled second entry long here, but that's going to be way too far down to do anything. Keep in mind, we are still below yesterday's high a day and yesterday's low a day by quite a significant margin. This is just the definition of an inside day. It's already been an hour since the market opened, so yeah, you're not going to see that break. I'm just going to call it right now. This will finish as an inside day. Whoever asked me earlier what I think, that's what I think now. We will close somewhere between yesterday's low and yesterday's high. Oh, Biden's speaking today too, huh? That could get spicy. Yeah, at 12:15. Then the other Fed speakers aren't until almost market close. Does anyone know what time Biden speaks today? Jocko. That was good. 1500. Oh, 1500, if you will. One of Biden's old-timey stories about Pop is going to send this market into a plunge. You watch. Brant for president. That's all I'm saying. Brant for president. Gary's going blind short style. I like it. Gonna trust the head and shoulders and just go short. Shoot, I mean, you gotta find setups today, right? I keep zooming out like as if I'm gonna find the hidden key to this day. Keep thinking like, oh man, maybe there's some sort of wider pattern. Maybe, but there just isn't. That's the facts. This is a steamy pile of garbage. That's just what it is. Hey, it's your birthday today, Gary. Right on. Happy birthday. Gonna go celebrate with some Cheez-Its and beer. Yeah, you got it, Gary. That's exactly it. Double range, inside chop, outside, trending quadruple top, neck and shoulder day. Yep, that's it. That's the one. Today's the day of 5th entry longs and 6th entry shorts. You can master those setups, you're gonna do just fine. Didn't quite reach the measured move, but this does look like this was our initial move down. We have a break, a new low, and now we are bouncing. Let's see what this bounce has got. We have our first entry short, higher low. Yeah, we are back at the EMA. Are you short, Gary? Here's the 10K EMA. It discontinued your favorite brand of Cheetos, man. It's a shame. Yeah, this is, I have the previous bottom of the range right here. I mean, the initial range was right where we're at. Then I moved it up to here because of all those touches, so it's right around here somewhere. Gary's gonna rip a short here somewhere. That feels like a chess trade. Wait, where's Chess been, by the way? I miss him popping in with just these crazy outlandish trades. Going short here, and then the market just tanks. I think Chess is a market maker. He likes to pop into random YouTube streams. Screw with people. Spicy cheddar is no longer. Why would you take away something like spicy cheddar? People are gonna love that. That's gonna fly off the shelves. Ooh, that's a good question. What Mexican food snacks does my wife eat? You know, she honestly, my wife doesn't eat very much like a Mexican, to be honest. I do more so than her. I could eat tacos all day long. And I like all the nasty stuff too. All the exotic meats, tripas and lengua and buche. I like all that stuff. He likes more healthy food. Takis, oof, man. I got a stomach ache just at the mention of Takis. I think that's a good rule of thumb today, Jocko. If it's not at the extreme, forget it. Guaranteed somehow California is involved. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Gary. That's where I'm at. Man, that's the truth, Brant. That is the truth. Hard to get a good taco anywhere but California and Texas. I lived in Oregon for a long time, and you'd think like, hey man, it's pretty close. Like they ought to have pretty good tacos. Don't. Oh, now that's a big debate, Dylan. You're bringing some heat here. Tex-Mex or just Mexican food, like you know, I would say my favorite is like Baja fish tacos. Oh man, that's making me hungry right now. It's 7:50 in the morning my time, but I'm ready to lay the smack down on a fish taco. Man, I don't really like this failed second entry short here. Just kind of in the middle of the nowhere. EMA is sideways. We'd be going long into the 10K EMA. Here, now you're talking. San Diego breakfast burritos. Man, that's good stuff. When I go down to San Diego, I pretty much only eat fish tacos. That's my only food source. Well, if you want to take a risk on a failed second entry short, this is a nice bull bar, but I would not recommend it. It's very big. It did not tick below. We're going right into previous range bottom. between two EMAs. I think you got to sit this out, man. There's some good food in San Francisco for sure. More like probably some good Asian food if you're into that. Okay, Gary. I really hope that works out for you, man. Looks pretty decent right now. I don't think we're going to be going anywhere fast. We also have SPY VWAP right overhead. And we have not been able to get through that. Aaron. No, seriously, please tell me where I can get a good breakfast burrito in my hometown, please. All joking aside, guys, like, please guide me in the way. Nice, Gary. Glad you got that one. Wow. Well, yeah. PA sucks for sure, Gary. Take care. Happy birthday. Go enjoy. Would be a little second entry long right here. 12 tick bar. In the right context, this wouldn't be a bad setup. You have a nice little move up, expecting a new high, 2 legs of correction, second entry long, green bar. That's getting really big, 14 ticks. You don't want to risk 14 ticks on a day like today. But then, yeah, like I said, in the right context, it would make sense, but you're just in a bunch of garbage here, so you can't really trust anything one way or another. Well, if you were deciding to grab some of these evaluation accounts that are on sale, might want to just don't set them up today. Grab them and save them for another day, because this is just junk. This is the kind of day where you can blow an eval or even blow a performance account by just taking dumb trades or trying to force your will on the market. So I think I'm actually going to wrap it up here too. I don't see anything even remotely interesting until either we get like a really strong trend here that has a nice trend line you can take a second entry long off, or just wait, man, until we get all the way to the top, look to short, or if we push down to the bottom, well, ideally the top first, because we haven't touched this area in a while. So if we can get up to the top, that might present a good short opportunity. Otherwise, man, preserve your capital, guys. Save it for a better day. Yeah, it's gonna rocket right when I leave for sure. That is what happens. But that is going up now. Anyway, trade safe out there, guys. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for hanging out. I think I'm probably gonna go get some fish tacos now that we're talking about it. Yeah. Thanks. See y'all tomorrow. Later.